When you think about it, the cloud holds just about everything these days. Our photos, our work, the apps we use every second. But who actually holds the keys to all that? Well, today, we're going to dive into cloud security and focus on the one thing that matters most: identity.
So let's just kick things off with a number that should honestly stop you in your tracks. 80%. That is the percentage of cyber attacks that use identity-based tricks. We're talking stolen passwords, compromised accounts, you name it. This isn't some side issue. It's the front door that attackers are walking through.
And that leads us to the million-dollar question, right? How in the world do we control who gets the keys to our digital kingdom? How do we build a system that's smart enough to know who to let in and who to keep out? The whole answer really comes down to one core idea: access control.
The easiest way to think about access control? It's the bouncer standing at the door of your nightclub, or, your data. It's the set of rules that decides who's on the list, where they can go once they're inside, and which rooms are strictly off-limits. To get cloud security right, you have to start here.
Okay, so what is it, really? Well, according to the official folks at NIST, that's the National Institute of Standards and Technology, it's actually pretty straightforward. It's a system that connects a subject, which could be a person or an app, with an object, like a file or a database. And the thing that connects them is a policy, the rulebook. That's it. Who are you? What do you want? And does the rulebook say yes?
But here's where it gets a little tricky. We say the cloud, like it's this one big, fluffy thing. It's not. It's actually a stack of different layers, and the rules for access control change completely depending on which layer you're playing on. And this picture shows it perfectly. See, at the very bottom, you've got Infrastructure as a Service, or IaaS. This is for the hardcore IT admins managing servers and networks. Then in the middle, there's Platform as a Service, PaaS, which is where developers live and build their apps. And right at the top is Software as a Service, or SaaS, and that's what most of us use every day. Think Gmail or Salesforce. Different layers, different people, totally different security puzzles. And this brings up a super important idea called the shared responsibility model. Think of it like renting a house. With IaaS, you're just renting the plot of land. You've got to build the house, put in the locks, everything. With SaaS, it's more like renting a fully furnished apartment. The landlord takes care of the building security, but you are still responsible for locking your own front door and not leaving your valuables out. It's a partnership.
All right, enough theory. Let's make this real. How does a giant cloud company like Microsoft Azure actually solve this identity puzzle? Turns out, they basically give you two main paths for an application to get access. And believe me, the path you choose makes all the difference. And that choice really boils down to this. Do you want automation or do you want control? On one hand, you've got something called a managed identity. This is like having a self-driving car where Azure handles all the tricky security stuff for you. On the other hand, you have a service principal. With this, you're behind the wheel. You're in complete control, but you're also responsible for everything. So let's look at managed identity first. This is basically an identity that Azure creates and takes care of for your app automatically. And here's the magic part. There are no passwords, no secret keys, nothing for you to manage or store in your code. Azure just handles it all securely in the background.
It's pretty brilliant.
And then you've got the service principal. Now, this is an identity that you make and you manage. It gives you a ton of flexibility, which is great. But with great flexibility comes great responsibility. You have to create the secrets, figure out how to store them safely, and this is the part everyone forgets, you have to remember to change them regularly. So, okay, you've got these two very different options. How do you pick? Well, like with most things in tech, it's not about which one is better. It's about picking the right tool for the job. This table nails the comparison. With a managed identity, credentials are all automated. With a service principal, it's manual. You're on the hook. So here's the simple rule of thumb. Managed identity is your best friend for anything that lives and breathes inside of Azure. Service principals are for when you need to connect to the outside world. And it just makes sense, right? The security risk is way lower when there are no secrets you can accidentally expose. So let's say you've got an app running totally inside the Azure world. Maybe it's a little function that needs to grab a file or a virtual machine that needs to pull a password from Azure's super secure vault. In these cases, managed identity is a no-brainer. It's the cleanest, safest, and easiest way to go because it was literally designed for this environment. But what if your app doesn't live inside Azure? What if you're deploying code from GitHub Actions? Or you have an app running on-premise that needs to talk to Azure? For all of that, you have to use a service principal. It's the secure handshake that connects the outside world to your Azure resources.
And this leads us to what I think is the most important point of this whole conversation. Choosing between these two isn't just a simple technical choice or a matter of preference. It is a fundamental security decision you are making, right from the start.
And if you're not convinced this matters, just look at this number. Almost 24 million secrets were leaked on GitHub in 1 year. These are the exact kind of passwords and keys that service principals use. Every time a developer makes a tiny mistake and commits one of these to a public repository, it creates a massive security nightmare. This is precisely the problem that managed identities were designed to prevent.
So here's the real takeaway. It's not that one of these is good and the other is bad. It's all about context. If you're building inside Azure, use a managed identity. It's just safer by design. If you need to connect from the outside, you'll need a service principal. But you have to treat those secrets like they're gold. You have to be disciplined.
You know, all this talk about securing cloud applications makes you zoom out a bit. In a world where our digital identity is the key to practically everything, our money, our communications, our work, maybe the biggest question isn't just about our apps. Maybe it's this. What's the single biggest identity risk in your own life? Something to think about.